Excuse me, are you guys busy?
Oh no, we're good.
Oh, awesome. Can I ask you guys a couple questions about Almaworks?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay, cool. First off, what are your names?
My name's Richard.
I'm Justin.
I'm Brandon.
Cool, and where are you guys from?
I'm from Shanghai originally, studied in Massachusetts High School.
I'm from Palo Alto, California.
I'm from Jersey.
And what are each of you guys studying?
I'm double majoring in math and philosophy.
Computer science.
Also CS.
Oh, awesome. How about let's take a break from studying and doing all this work and just like take this outside Hamilton hallway?
Sounds really good.
Awesome. So what organizations at Columbia are you guys involved in?
I'm involved with CORE, Columbia Organization of Rising Entrepreneurs, and I'll be the demo day lead for next semester. Other than that, I'm also involved with Paragon Global Investments, which is a student investment fund. And finally, I'm also involved with Columbia Alpha Partners.
I'm involved with CORE and many of its initiatives. I'm also involved with Asian American Alliance.
Yep, I'm in core and also in Spectator.
Awesome, you guys seem very involved. How about let's take a seat since you guys might need a little break from studying.
Yes.
So what initiatives have you been active throughout your time in court?
Yeah, absolutely. So I joined CORE since the beginning of last semester, and I was involved with Founder School. And this semester, as a new OCL, I am involved with Almaworks Accelerator and also the fellowship.
I've been a part of CORE since last semester in the fall, and I've been involved with many of its initiatives. For example, I'm the current line launch lead. I'm also involved with Almaworks Accelerator, as well as the alumni initiative and the podcast initiative.
And yeah, for me, it's just been Almaworks since I joined in freshman fall, so that was like a year ago. And yeah.
And what initiatives are you guys active in now?
Well, like I said, I'm active in the fellowship and also Almaworks Accelerator, and I'll be leading the demo day event next semester for the Accelerator.
I'm line launch incubator lead, and I'm also part of the alumni initiative as well as CORE's Accelerator.
And I'm going to be the director of Almaworks starting next semester.
Cool, awesome. So let's go downstairs and get our steps in. How about that?
Sounds good.
Cool. So while we're walking down, why did you decide to join and lead Almaworks?
Yeah, for me, the main reason was because I heard about Almaworks before applying. It was actually one of the reasons I wanted to apply to Columbia, the big accelerator program. And yeah, I wanted to just see how it operated. And when I actually joined, it was really fun seeing how the founders and mentors could be matched and work together. And it's allowed me to meet a lot of Columbia founders that I never even knew existed on campus. So yeah, it's been a really fun experience.
Oh, I love that. And can you tell us what Almaworks' purpose is? What is it all about?
Yeah, so our fundamental purpose is to help grow Columbia startups. So we essentially pair them with mentors over an 8-week period so that they can grow their business in areas like customer discovery or growing their MVP. And then finally, it'll culminate in a demo day event where they get to present their startups to the rest of the Columbia community as well as a panel of VCs.
Cool. And what would you say the qualifications for a startup to partake in Almaworks would be?
Yeah, so really we have just two main requirements for a startup. The first one is that they're at the MVP stage or around that stage, so hopefully they should have a minimum viable product. And then the second thing is commitment. So since we are an 8-week accelerator program, there is a bit of a time commitment for founders. So that would be the second major requirement.
Interesting. And what does the usual programming look like for a startup participating in Almaworks? What is the agenda like? What are the plans?
Yeah, so after the startup applies and then interviews and then is accepted, we have an 8-week mentorship program where every week they're paired with a new mentor based on what they're looking for in their current journey in the startup. And then at the very end, it'll culminate in the demo day event where they get to present their startup to a panel of VCs.
Ooh, what is Demo Day?
Yeah, good question. So Demo Day is an event that we usually have in the Columbia Startup Lab where all of the founders in our cohort get to present their startup. It's just the pitch deck essentially. And then we also usually have a panel of judges who provide feedback to each of these startups and can also afterwards network with them. So it's a really, it's a great event that we have every semester.
Oh wow, that's so cool. So why would someone apply to be a startup for Almaworks?
Yeah, so a person who would be interested in applying to Almaworks is a person who is very passionate about a startup space, as well as very established, at least to a very base level, and has something to work off of. So one of the, I guess, baseline requirements that we have for working in Almaworks Accelerator is that the startup must have some resemblance of a minimum viable product already. And this way we can provide the most help possible to that startup.
Wow,
Yeah.
that seems so helpful. So now going on to talk about OCLs. What are tasks an OCL would do in Almaworks?
Yeah, for sure. So in my time being an OCL, I feel like I've adopted many like different tasks. It's kind of like you have to be kind of like shapeshifter when it comes to like being okay with learning a little bit about, for example, like organizing a pitch deck or presenting a pitch deck or reaching out to people, networking with people. It's a lot of people stuff and it's a lot of learning about entrepreneurship in the space of entrepreneurship.
That makes sense. And what is the time commitment like for an OCL in Almaworks?
So the time commitment usually consists of one meeting throughout the week with the Almaworks team, as well as one meeting downtown in the Columbia Startup Lab in Soho, and that is from 2 to 5 p.m. in Soho.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So on to Richard. What are skills or traits that make a great OCL for Almaworks?
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a couple that I can think of off the top of my head. I guess just like Justin said, the nature of work is really dynamic. You get to put on different tasks, so being really adaptive in that is very important. And in addition to that, I'd say that being a proactive person can really help you benefit throughout the journey because you get to take on a lot more responsibilities. And finally, I think dedication and meticulousness is also important because this after all is a important event that we're hosting and sometimes there are complexities with it. So attention to detail is going to be very important to facilitate a really fluid and smooth organizing of all of those events that we host weekly.
Oh, that's so great. So what are experiences and skills OCLs can take away from being in Almaworks?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd say that speaking from personal experience, the greatest takeaway that I get is to have this exposure to all the rising entrepreneurs and the insights from the venture capitalists and previous founders. I say that that is an invaluable experience to learn from. And in addition to that, because sometimes we're also doing a lot of outreach job, it really helps you with your verbal fluency and how to write professional emails to get in touch with these founders and investors. And I'd say finally, because the lab is down in Soho, it gives you a good excuse to go downtown every weekend if you're into that kind of thing.
Wow, that seems like such an enriching experience. I definitely would want to join Almaworks. So how about let's go take a seat on one of the steps, since
Yeah,
you guys must be tired from standing. So to end things off, I'm really curious, what is one of your most favorite core memories? Each of you guys can go and share.
I'd say that, like I said, it's definitely the Soho experience. Especially, I think it was last week when the weather was super nice and all sunny with a little bit of wind. Just walking down to Soho and into the CSL labs, it has been a great experience, especially when you know that when you're there, you're getting greeted by all these robust rising founders with their projects and trying to make a difference in society.
For me, it was two moments in particular. The first one was last semester's demo day. I found that super insightful. It was really cool seeing all of the teams work, interact with all of the venture capitalists and judges. And I feel like that was a very enriching moment for not just them, but for a lot of the audience, as well as all of the OCLs and Almaworks. I feel like one of the other notable events that I appreciated was Formal last semester. Formal was a lot of fun. It was so much fun just seeing everyone just like celebrate at the end of the semester and get together outside of the context of work. And I feel like I saw a side of my like coworkers and like OCLs that I just feel so grateful to have seen.
And yeah, for me, besides demo day and formal, I would say actually one of our all hands meetings was particularly fun. It was the one where we got the free pizza from Wellness too. That was one of my favorite, not just because of the pizza, which is by the way my favorite pizza around here, but also because it was fun catching up with like everybody in core. You know, there's so many people and so many different initiatives, so it's cool seeing everybody again. And also I like their speaker event a lot with Clipboard Health because I've always been interested in healthcare. So yeah, I really like that one.
Oh, that's great. Thank you guys so much for sharing your guys' experiences. I know that OCL recruitment for spring is already over since a while ago, but for people who are wanting to apply as OCLs for next semester in the fall, what advice would you give for anyone interested applying for core as an OCL?
I'd say that the forefront thing is definitely passion. Show that you're passionate about core, show that you're passionate about entrepreneurship, the projects you're working on. I'd say that that is the biggest advice that I can give.
I definitely agree with that. I feel like just showing a very unique side of you and a very authentic side of you is very crucial. And I feel like we do a lot of work in core, but it's also at the end of the day just working with people that you love to work with. And I feel like just being your true self is just like the best advice.
Besides that, I would say definitely try to meet as many people in core as possible. So there will be a lot of opportunities through coffee chats with existing people in core. Also these very fun social events, like we had an ice cream social event the past semester. So yeah, just like go to some of these events. It's a great way to have fun and just meet the current people in core.
Wow, that sounds like so much fun. Now kind of jumping back to Almaworks for a little bit. Do you guys have any advice for anyone interested in applying to Almaworks as a startup?
Well, I'd say that because Almaworks is a bit more structured than some earlier initiatives like Summer School, having a good minimum viable product MVP is very important. It is one of the main judging criteria that we have. But other than that, I'll hand that off to my colleagues.
Yeah, I think it's very similar to applying to be an OCL in that, like, along with just having a minimum viable product and just like passion, I feel like what's really important is that you like really prioritize your startup, and we can really see that you are very passionate and you believe in the vision of your startup.
Yeah, and finally, I would say I have a very clear vision for what you want to gain from Almaworks, because it is a rather intense 8-week program followed by demo day where you get to network and meet with the VCs. So having an idea of what exactly you want to get out of the program would be great.
All right, so one last question, I'll let you guys go back to studying. Why should a Columbia student join core?
Well, I guess community. Like I said, you need to be really passionate to apply, and because of that, everyone in core are super passionate about their project and also passionate about helping out the community and each other. So I say that you really stand to benefit from people around you.
I agree. I feel like you get to meet a lot of similarly like-minded people, and when it comes to like being a self-starter and doing things that you're very passionate about. But on the other hand, I feel like you also get to meet a lot of people with a variety of skill sets. And I feel like core is an opportunity to meet those kinds of people that have both qualities, and it's quite unlike many clubs at Columbia that way.
Yeah, and I would say core definitely has like a lot of different initiatives as well. So if you're interested in any area of entrepreneurship and just, as you said, want to get to know more people, you should definitely apply to core.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you guys so much for taking your time to answer my questions. I'll definitely look into applying for Almaworks.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.